came to court today. The matter was originally adjourned for the hearing of our motion that we had filed. So the basis of the motion was that the court had made an earlier order where 3 laboratories were approved, 1 picked from us, 1 picked from the respondents, and 1 that was submitted by the welfare officer. Only for us to discover that the 1 picked by the welfare officer don't have the capacity to do tissue-based DNA. In fact, they are cancer research center. We filed an affidavit of facts to this effect. We exhibited emails where the center chosen by the welfare officer came back to us and said they don't even do DNA at all. They are merely cancer research center. And the 1 picked by the respondents, we have an email from the same laboratory saying they don't have the capacity to do tissue-based DNA, particularly if the body had already been embalmed. So in view of this, and the 1 picked by the applicants, that's my clients, we had already obtained form. We've been in constant communication with them. In fact, I had sent some of those things to the welfare officer for coordination, because it is not for me to coordinate it. It is for the officer of the court through the welfare officer to do the coordination. But when we discover all of these lapses and all of that, so we thought, okay, since the order is still subsisting, there is need for us to bring a fresh application. So the application we have brought is now predicated on the earlier order. You know, now, having filed an affidavit of fact discrediting the 1 picked by the respondent and the welfare officer, and there is still one standing, which is the DNA Diagnosis Center in the United States. So we brought an application for court to give effect to that. Let the court conduct DNA using the one that has already been approved. Everybody has the knowledge. We know that they have the capacity. And the moment we file the application is not different from the order that is still subsisting. It is still the same order. But curiously, they filed a counter affidavit that no, the court should not permit us to do the DNA using the DNA Diagnosis Center. They don't want that. So what they are opting for is they want a DNA that will be chosen by the courts. We don't have a problem with it, but it will not be disclosed. So they want an undisclosed DNA that will be chosen by the courts. The venue will not be known. The name of the DNA laboratory will not be known. The only thing that will be known is that they've submitted, the DNA has been chosen, we submit, a sample has been taken. The court should do an undisclosed DNA for us. We'll just come with the results. That is the standard practice, but with this Mohbad DNA issue, it is peculiar. Peculiar in what sense? We have a checker history of manipulation at the coroner inquest, where the post-mortem pathologist, the results for the cause of death came back inconclusive. Even the purported NMS that the Lagos State officials, whoever did it, said it did. The family wrote to that laboratory and they said they never received any sample that clears out of Aloba Mohbad, that they didn't do that. So, and the result came back inconclusive. It was a boy who died and was a took after 9 days. And he said because he has decayed, everybody knows that you can even determine the cause of death of a diseased person who has passed on for the last 20 years. So that is why we are where we are. So our own position is very simple. We want a transparent DNA. We want a DNA where we can interrogate the capacity of the lab. It is not just an ordinary DNA, it is a tissue-based DNA. It is a tissue-based in what sense? They can only use his teeth, his nail, or his bone, because they don't feel the thing. So not just your regular DNA, and only few laboratories oversee have that capacity to do it. So that's where we are.
So where the case is even advanced?
So the case now has been, so there are lapses in We filed a further affidavit to the counter affidavit and a reply on point of law. So we discovered some lapses with respect to the old thing. So we informed the court that there is need for us to do the correction, and the court agreed with us. So the matter has been adjourned to 11th, I believe, 11th of August 2026. Then, so apparently we had filed another motion, another case. So in the course of our conduct, in the course of our research, we discovered that there is another sister case being filed by the apparently she had sued the Ministry of Youth and Social Development and Chief Medical Officer, Military Hospital, Yaba. We were never aware of this case. We were never sent. Only for us to discover that an order had been granted, giving a leave of court to do DNA by the same magistrate. These developments strike at the roots of jurisdiction. It amazes me as a person because we were never aware until when we discover we applied for the CCC, we got the court processes, we got the order that was obtained. Apparently this matter was filed, I think, October last year, while we are still in the same court for the same DNA. And the question I ask as a lawyer is that why will a mother file an action demanding for the DNA of her own son? The Lagos State Ministry of Youth and Development never demanded for DNA. The Chief Medical Officer never demanded for DNA. It is the Aloba family that demand for DNA. And from the process we saw that the process is reading the matter of paternity test of Master Liam Aloba for and on behalf of the family of Mr. Ideloluwa Aloba disease, represented by his father, Mr. Joseph Aloba. This is what was found, but Mr. Aloba was never served, he was never joined in the case. The two parties in this case were Ministry of Youth and Chief Medical Officer. And the question I asked is that the Ministry of Youth and Chief Medical Officer, Military Hospital Yaba, demand for DNA. So, if the Aloba family is demanding for DNA, it's because we are saying that boy belongs to the Alobas. That is why they are demanding for DNA, which is rightly so. And the basis for this DNA was very simple. The evidence at the coroner inquest that was given by Crime Board and Spendis was very clear. They said the last fight or the last misunderstanding the board had was that Mohbad was questioning the paternity of that boy. It was CTC. It was online. In fact, we applied for the certified true copy. It was on that basis the Aloba said, okay, to clear all doubt as to the cause of death, let us confirm if indeed this Liam, the boy is innocent, but this Liam is indeed Aloba. It will form as a respite. That is why they filed the application for DNA, and we've been on it for years. Only for you to now file another action demanding for DNA. That means the Aloba family were not wrong after all. For them to be demanding for DNA, because if a mother is filing an action to do the DNA of her own son, that leaves much to be desired. I won't say more than that, but in reaction to that, the moment we discover that, we have filed an application, a notice of penal objection, because we consider that action an abuse of judicial process. And we have filed the necessary application, and the order that was granted, in fact, the order was granted on the 5th day of May 2026. We're not aware. We filed an action, and we filed a motion for the court to set it aside, because there cannot be a parallel proceedings with the same DNA. It is unheard of.
Thank you.
That is the position. So for this one, we will pursue for a date.
Okay.
We pursue for a date because according to them, they said the matter has been concluded.
Okay.
The matter has been concluded, and there's a subsisting order. But we will reopen it. No, of course.
Your name again.
My name is Olaga.
All right. Thank you.
This DNA is must, because this DNA is beyond ordinary paternity. we are tracing the death of Mohbad, reach that level. So it's beyond to know the paternity of Liam alone. Because the death of Mohbad is not natural. So as a father, I'm still saying this DNA is the most important thing that delaying the burial of Mohbad. It's a young guy. One of the about it, as a Yoruba, that is what made me to bury him in the first time. But when I examine, a lot of things have been revealed to me. So we need to do the DNA before burying Mohbad. The body is an evidence. Thank you very much.